What's going on, ghosties? We are Tales of Spooky Coffee House. Welcome back to our podcast. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Veronica.
And on today's episode, we're going to talk about crimes that changed the law and the haunting of the Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
I love it. I love that place.
As well as pull the tarot cards of the week. But before we get started with that, let's have our coffee break I almost said to stop us, to get us pumped up. The complete
Thanks for joining us this week, ghosties. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Imagine.
That was a short episode. Wow. I'm pooped.
How's your week been, Veronica?
Good. Also, ghosties, Chelsea and I didn't realize that when we recorded last week, that the episode was gonna come out on 420, and so we went about it all
sorry to
bad.
Disappoint.
I know. We'll make it up to you guys somehow. We'll have like a high episode or something. I don't know. But yes, 420 was cool. Like I went to the movies, which was really fun. I watched Spy Family. It's really cute, and I pretty much stayed sober for the most part, which is so unlike me, but I don't know. It's whatever. But how's your week going? How was your 420? Did you and Nana smoke a joint together, or?
Nana's back in California.
Oh, she is, and she didn't tell me. Ooh, I'm gonna go stalk her.
She's been back for like a week now, or a week tomorrow, actually. Yeah.
I'm gonna text her and be like, I need attention.
My 420 was actually kind of interesting. So Friday night, I'm going to talk about it later, but I went to this event, right? And I went to my cousin's after, and to the point where like I was awake for 24 hours and was not tired whatsoever, to the point where like my cousins, they're night owls, and they kicked me out because they were ready for bed. And
LOL.
So I went home, went to bed, like I forced myself to go to bed, and I was up at 8 a.m., had like 3.5 hours of sleep, and was just going. Like I thought I was stoned the whole day, but I really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of stuff done for our podcast and the short story anthology.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friend called me at the end of the day, and she's like, hey, what have you been up to? And I was telling her like everything that I've been doing, and she's like, Chelsea. I was like, what? She's like, honey, I think you're having a manic episode. And I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Oh, no.
I didn't even realize it. Like in the moment, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so creative. I'm so productive. Let's go.
Yes, manic episodes are so fun because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like, am I going to wake up tomorrow with like a bob or blue hair or pink hair? Am I going to go get a tattoo or get my nose pierced? Like, you know what I mean? Exactly. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. So it's like, ooh, let's see what happens. Let's see where this manic episode takes us.
Yeah, so that was my 420. Didn't even need drugs, nothing for that. That was all natural.
Yeah. Wow. We both had a naturally fun weekend. Because I haven't been able to sleep well this week. Like, I think, like, Saturday night, I couldn't sleep till, like, 2 or 3 in the morning, and I had work the next day. And then Sunday night, I didn't go to sleep till, like, 4 or 5 in the morning, and I had to work early the next day, you know? So, like, I kept fucking up at work. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm sleepy. I could have called out, but here I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want from me? So, I don't know. I don't know what's been going on with my sleep, but hopefully I can get my shit together because I don't like going without sleep.
Right.
But, well, speaking of work, I don't know if I mentioned this, but my friend Natalie, who's also my coworker, she got engaged not too long ago, like a couple months ago. She went to New York and her boyfriend proposed to her. No. So I'm really excited for her and what's his face to get married. And then literally 3 weeks ago, my other coworker, Cynthia, got engaged. And so she was like, Vero, what are you going to sing at my wedding? And I was like, oh. I'm like, well, I don't think I should choose a song. Like, I think you should tell me what you want me to sing. Like, I was telling her, I was like, just send me a list of some songs that you really like that you would like me to sing at your wedding, and I'll take a look at them and I'll see which ones that I can realistically do. Most likely they're gonna be Spanish songs, and I feel like I'm much better singing in Spanish. Like I just have stronger vocals, so I'm not too worried about it. But what's funny is that she asked me to sing at her wedding, which is a huge honor, and I'd love to, and I can't wait. But my other coworker, who she's an older lady, right? She's not old, but she's like middle aged. She's like, she tells everyone all the time. She's like, yeah, Vettel's gonna sing at my funeral. Oh.
Did she pick out a song for you at least?
There's a Spanish song that is very popular at like
for funerals.
Funerals, yeah. That I'm pretty sure is gonna be the one that I have to sing. But the thing is, like, I'm probably gonna be crying. Like, not even because of like her, but like because of my personal like grief, you know? It's such a beautiful song, but it's so heartbreaking, and it's, I don't know, but you know, I'm getting jobs, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid for them types. Per se, but
start charging. Be like, I need payment in advance.
Yeah. Before you die, though. Yeah. Like, ma'am, before you decide to go, can you just leave me a down payment of some kind? Thank you so much. Oh, it's great, but I can't wait. I'm excited for both, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be excited for the funeral, but I know what you mean.
I mean, in a way, I would be excited for the funeral. Not that I'm excited for my coworker to die. I'm just excited to bring that beautiful, sorrow, peaceful, like, vibe to everyone, you know? Because although it hurts to hear some music, especially like Spanish music, although it hurts and it kind of jabs you in the heart, it's such a like therapeutic thing. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you're hurt, it hurts, you know, your heart's in pain. The song's like talking about, like, for example, one of my favorite Spanish songs is called Un Puño de Tierra by Antonio Aguilar, and it's pretty much, and it translates to English, a pinch of dirt. And the song talks about, like, all I'm gonna take with me when I die, like, to my grave, is a pinch of dirt. So I might as well live my life to the fullest. So, you know, think about it. Like, singing that song at a funeral, like, it's gonna hurt, but also it's like, fuck yeah, like, we're gonna fucking live our lives, you know, in honor of this person or whatever it may be. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on from that depressing topic.
Oh,
that was like an up and down. That was like an up and down.
Yeah. My bad.
Like, yay, wedding. Aw, funeral. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, my topic that I was going to talk about is not all that better, because we went to a Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy night the other weekend. And it was so good. Okay. So they had one drink for each short story or piece of work that Edgar Allan Poe had, and it was like the actor's own interpretation of how it would have been like performed, basically. And oh my gosh, dude, the drinks, well, the majority of them were like super good. The last one was like a watermelon passion fruit thing that I just made my stomach turn, and I was like, no thank you. So they did Telltale Heart, Black Cat, The Raven, and oh my god, I'm blanking the other one.
The Raven is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. I can't think of the other one right now, but so they had one alcoholic drink for each performance.
Oh.
Yeah, the main guy that was like transitioning everything, he was basically like, he called himself the historian and was telling us all this stuff about Edgar Allan Poe. I actually learned something about him that I didn't know, so I was actually just like pleasantly surprised. But so the drinks, super good. I didn't think I was gonna like, there was one, it's bourbon and milk. Bro, it is so fucking good. It is so good.
Wait, I said without processing that. Hold on. Oh.
Yeah, no, I had that same reaction, but when I actually tasted it, oh my god, dude. And they call it Poe milk because that used to be like Edgar Allan Poe's favorite drink. So good. Don't know why it was good, but it was good. Anyway, so near the end of the night, we're drinking the last drink, and that's when I started to like, I don't like this one. It's just, I don't like watermelon, but the passion fruit just really made me sick. So I gave it to my mom and her boyfriend to split. Oh my God, dude, mom was so drunk.
Love it.
I was like, oh my God. She looks over at me and she goes, I'm so buzzed right now. And I was like, oh my God, Mom.
I love that for her.
Wait. It gets better. So we get home, right? Oh my God, she's going to kill me for telling you this. But so we get home and she's trying to reach down to pet the dog and nearly falls over.
These are moments you need to record, Chelsea.
I was like, Mom, I'm so happy for you right now. I was like, I'm not even tipsy because I was driving. But it was fucking hilarious.
Love that for you guys.
Did you know that they still make chia pets?
I think I've seen them at where I work.
I haven't seen one in years. So at work, I don't know why it dragged, but I was getting antsy, so I was just making like weird random noises. And then I was just like and then I was like, oh, chia. And my coworker and I started talking about chia pets and how her favorite was Bob Ross. And I was like, I wonder if we can still buy them. One? Yeah. And I was like, I wonder if we can still buy them. So we looked them up and they have a Pennywise and a Chucky one. I was like, bitch, I'm gonna go buy some chia pets.
Oh my gosh. What? I would want a Michael Myers one.
I don't know if they make one. I just saw Pennywise and Chucky and I was like, oh, I'm sold.
Oh, I'm gonna start looking. That's funny because like once I saw Chia, like I know it was before we started recording, but I was like Chia.
I know, I heard you. That's why I laughed because I was like, that was me earlier.
That makes sense.
So I have one more thing to talk to you about, but I think it's gonna transition really well with your topic, your true crime topic of the week.
Okay.
So earlier, yesterday actually, I took Izzy and Remy to the bus stop and I got back to the house and I'm making my breakfast and all of a sudden I hear this woman screaming and I looked out my window and I see this woman chasing after this car. Mind you, the car almost hit my car. And she starts chasing it down the road and I was like, I just kind of like peeked outside to make sure everything was okay. Like she was okay. Checked my video footage. Her car got stolen. That much we could figure out from the video footage because it happened behind the camera. So on the camera, all we capture is her screaming, get out of the car, get out of the car. And then it just like, you can see the car almost hit mine and swerve and then like take off and she just starts chasing it down the block with the police on the phone.
Yeah.
So this evening, Mom's boyfriend actually found the article about what happened. I'm gonna give you the title and then if you want me to read the article, I will.
If I what the article?
If you want me to read the article, I will.
Oh, okay.
So the title of the article is 10-year-old steals vehicle, crashes into St. Joseph County pond.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my God, what is wrong with these children? Oh my God, that is wild. Do read.
Okay. Mind you, this is my neighbor.
Story time.
So ghosties, this is on WSBT.com, which is my local news station, but it's a 10-year-old is accused of stealing a vehicle and then crashing into a retention pond just south of South Bend. South Bend police say they received a report that a 10-year-old stole a family member's vehicle just before 7:30 a.m. in the River Park area. Christopher Brandy says it was a typical day on the way to work until the car he was in was hit by a car driven by a 10-year-old boy. Can you imagine just like going to your work day and getting hit by a kid?
I would be, oh my God, I'd be like, get the fuck out of this car. I'm gonna give you a pow pow right now. Like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. What the fuck are you doing?
South Bend police say the boy allegedly stole a family member's SUV. We were waiting for the light to turn green and then all of a sudden, boom, said Bandy. Sorry, his name is Bandy, not Brandy. Bandy says after being hit, the boy began honking at them to go as the light turned green. We were just sitting there waiting for police to show up and we're like, we're not gonna go. So he rammed us like 3 or 4 times to try to push us into the intersection, says Bandy. Bandy says they then pulled into the former Oaken Bucket as the child continued down Ironwood. He says seeing the young child behind the wheel was something he never expected. Oh my god, that is a little boy. Like, we were a little dumbfounded, said Bandy. Police say after the hit and run, the boy traveled outside the city limits of into St. Joseph County, striking a mailbox near Fellows and Jackson. An officer tried to stop the vehicle, but the car veered off, driving across the grass before ending in the pond. Bandy says seeing the child driving off was concerning for the boy and others. We thought somebody was going to get hurt or he was going to get hurt. We thought something bad was going to happen for sure. Mm-hmm. The child did exit the vehicle on his own and was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries.
Wow. It's him ramming into that car at the intersection to get them out of the way.
I know, like 3 or 4 times. Like this kid was just like, get the fuck out of my way. Like,
he really what do you call them? He really lived out his intrusive thoughts, because that's an intrusive thought of mine. Like, should I just bump this car out of my way? You know?
No, see, my intrusive thought is when I see a police car just idling on the side of the road with no officers in it, but the keys in there, and I'm like, dude, I could go.
You know what? Yes, I've thought about that. That's been an intrusive thought of mine. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just like, they're asking for their cars to get stolen if they do that.
They're asking me to be a criminal. Like, come on.
So yeah, that I was so mind blown. Like,
that's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's so crazy. Wow.
That's my city life story. Do you want to get us started on the true crime topic of the week?
Yeah, because I was about to say, I'm like, you don't hear that shit out here, but at least not in my city. Oof. Yeah, so my true crime topic of the week, ghosties, I'm gonna talk about crimes that changed the law. So I'm gonna talk about 3, and one of them should be very, very familiar to you, Chelsea, and you, ghosties. I'm not sure about the 3rd one. I looked through our episodes and I didn't see the person's name, so I don't think we've talked about this person. So
we have that happen a lot to us recently.
You know what? We're 3 fucking seasons in. You know, I'm high most of the time while recording. I'm not gonna fucking remember. Okay.
Wait. Speaking of being high, so when I went to Robert's after the Edgar Allan Poe night, you've been getting the little clips and stuff that he sends us, right? Dude,
I died when I heard those clips. I was like, dude, I love this.
So I didn't see them when I went to his house and we were talking about them, and he plays it for me. He goes, how high were you guys? And I was like, you want to know what's funny? I was like, this was the one episode that we weren't high. And he was telling me like he was telling me that because he has to look at the sound waves to do his edits. And he was like, yeah, they were steady, and then just crazy up and down. And he was like, what the fuck's happening right here?
Oh, yeah. Well, he got himself into this, so.
I know.
So the first one, it's gonna be about Claire's Law. Okay, so Claire Wood was murdered by her ex-boyfriend, George Appleton. Appleton had a history of violent behavior that Claire wasn't aware of. Due to this, a law in England was created called Claire's Law in 2014, where you can perform a background check on the person who you are dating. As of today, Australia as well as Canada have adopted Claire's Law. So that's the first one, and I think it's pretty good. It's pretty smart, especially nowadays, because you never know. Like, people are crazy. People don't have the best intentions for you. You know what I mean? Like, evil eye is everywhere.
Listen, I think that's a great law, but also you can do that in America. You just have to pay like $20 on anybody. It doesn't have to be the person that you're dating.
Yeah, I think I think
I feel like you should have access to that.
I think it was like $1 to like find my records or something, like the Los Angeles court thing. Anyways, the second one is the one that you should be familiar with, the Chicago Tylenol incident. So in 1982, bottles of Tylenol were laced with potassium cyanide. 7 people lost their lives due to this. The manufacturer, Johnson & Johnson, recalled all Tylenol products. Johnson & Johnson also worked alongside the FDA to introduce sealed bottles, which has now become mandatory for the pharmaceutical industry. So ghosties, you're not gonna find any medication over the counter that does not have a seal on it. And
if you want, don't use it.
Please don't use it. But if you want to know more about the Chicago Tylenol incident, I'm not sure what episode it is, but Chelsea did talk about it for her true crime segment. I believe it was season 2. No, was it this season? I think it was this season.
So it was season 2, close to the end. It looks like it was episode 26 of season 2. It was the pharmacy museum and the Chicago Tylenol murders.
Yeah, so if you want to know more information on it, go check out that episode. The last one I'm going to talk about is Son of Sam, which I found very interesting because of, like, you know, the whole Gypsy Rose situation and her getting out of jail and the amount of attention she got. So
yeah,
to prevent
I was
criminals
so over that shit.
To prevent criminals from profiting from their crimes after conviction. That's what this law is about. So, serial killer David Berkowitz seeked a book and movie deal after being convicted for murdering 6 people and injuring 7 others in the 1970s. This also led to one of the biggest manhunts in New York City's history. How do you feel about criminals making profit of their crimes? I mean, look at Jeffrey Dahmer and all the documentaries and the Netflix movies. What are your thoughts?
I have conflicted thoughts about that because of the fact that there are so many celebrities who they make documents about without giving them the money. And so it's like, yes, they should get a profit because it is their story. And only because, like, people will take advantage of that. Like, I'm going to profit off this person's story and these people's pain. Okay, so then the profits should go to the people that were involved. So even if we, like, specifically make a law for criminals, that the profits go to the people who were intentionally or unintentionally hurt by their actions. So, like, Jeffrey Dahmer, all of his victims' families should have gotten profits from them. Whereas, like, if it were celebrity documentaries, the celebrity should be the one that gets the profits. You know what I mean? So that way the criminals still aren't profiting, but also it's not being made so that way the people that make it could get the money, because that also goes to, like, them producing false information just because they want a quick buck.
And that's something that this serial killer did, is he tried reversing the views and playing the victim, you know? And it's like, no, fool, like, no. So moving forward, I do have a couple more questions for you because I thought this was such an interesting topic. What is a law that you think would be important to have?
So there's one that I'm thinking of, and I don't know if I should say it or not.
Okay, tell me, and then if ghosties, you don't hear it, we both decided to not
that it was
make
too
it
much.
public. Yeah, it was too much. But go ahead and tell me.
I think rapists should be free game to kill.
I think you could say that. I think you should keep that. I think, yes. I mean, I don't know if I would partake in this activity.
Like, there was a thing that I had read, and I felt like the person was justified. He caught somebody doing things to his 6-year-old daughter, and he hunted him down and killed him. And I feel like he was absolutely 100% justified in that.
Yeah, what a crazy topic. That's...
I feel like we should be allowed to kill rapists.
And we'll just leave it at that. My second question is, and my last one for you, and we could get started on your segment. What is the dumbest law that you know of?
In New York, it's illegal to shower naked.
I'm sorry, what? Are people showering with their socks on? Like, what's happening? Wait, what? What? Yes, I have never showered with any piece of clothing on. What?
Yeah, when I first read that, and I researched it too to make sure it was real, because I was like, there's no fucking way. But yeah, there is. It's illegal.
I'm so sorry, ghosties, but I know Florida has some crazy laws. Like, and I don't mean crazy as in, like, they're harsh. No, they're crazy. Like, for example, it'd be like, oh, you're not allowed to walk your pet alligator down the street type of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe next episode we'll start off our coffee break with some weird laws.
Oh, Ghosties.
What?
We're gonna have a special guest next week.
Are we?
Yes.
Who? Wait, is it a surprise or?
We're having Stephanie on.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she said, she was like, I don't care how long I have to work. She's like, I'll go to Veronica's house after work and we're gonna record.
Oh, good thing I have 2 mics now.
Yeah, so I was like, that's perfect. Like, we can talk about the Florida laws together because that would be fucking wild.
Is it dumb that I want to cry right now because I'm so excited?
Yeah, because she wanted to do it tonight, and I was like, dude, we already like scheduled our stuff, and I don't want to like have us both stress over it. And she's like, perfect, then we'll just do it next week.
Yeah. Oh my god,
yeah.
I'm so excited and looking forward to it. Speaking of Stephanie, I forgot to mention this during coffee break. I also hung out with her. Well, I hung out with a lot happened. Okay, that I'm suddenly now being overwhelmed with the memories of, but. Friday was my dad's birthday, so I was an emotional wreck that day. My beautiful cousin came over and brought me flowers, so shout out to her. Vanessa, I love you. Thank you. And then my niece Jasmine also came over. So my cousin took off, and my niece and I, like, we went on TikTok because she's going through this whole thing, like she wants to be like a TikTok famous person, you know? And and we plus when we're together, we're just like a chaotic, funny duo. So we have a good time while we're on live interacting with people. But Saturday morning, I actually so, 4:20 in the morning, I went to breakfast with Stephanie. And mind you, I haven't seen this bitch in a long time. And more importantly, I haven't spent time, like quality time with her in such a long time. So we have breakfast. Breakfast was amazing. And then we go thrift shopping, which is where we found your new little friend. And
I really hope you guys didn't mail that because I will cry.
Oh, anyways, so no, I'm so let me finish what I'm saying. So she drops me off because she drove. I was passenger princess for the day finally, because I'm never a passenger princess. I'm always the one driving. And I'm like hugging her goodbye, and I'm telling her, I'm like, Steph, I literally like want to cry right now because I miss you so much, and I don't like the distance between us, you know? Like I was used to hanging out with her like every other day, like spending so much time with her. Like she's my sister from another mister, just like you are. And she's like, stop. And I'm like, well, stop not giving me enough attention.
She's been so busy.
I know, and I understand. I don't hold it against her, but you know how I am. I need my I like making my friends give me the attention that I deserve. But I'm so excited. That's like the best news I've heard in a while. We're gonna torture her.
It only took
That's
3
exciting. It only fucking took 3 seasons, and people will finally know that she's real.
Right. At this point, they're gonna start thinking she's our imaginary friend.
She's our imaginary. We have a combined imaginary friend together. Does that make sense? Anyways, I'm really excited to hear about the Waverly Hills Sanatorium because I love this place. This place is fucking huge and creepy. So please get us started on the paranormal topic of the week.
Okay. So, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium boasts a spooky and fascinating history in Louisville, Kentucky. Way back in the early 1900s, Jefferson County was struck hard by a dreadful disease known as tuberculosis. Speaking of tuberculosis, that was one thing that was in the Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy thing. And this motherfucker, I don't know if it was just because we were drunk or we were just really getting into it, but when he was telling his history portion and he was like, and this person died from, and the whole crowd was like, tuberculosis.
Oh, that's dark and I love it. I want to experience that.
I'll send you the link to the website that it's on because they travel.
Oh, even better.
They travel across the United States.
Love it, love it, love it.
Anyway, so tuberculosis, also known as the White Plague. In response to this, they built the Waverly Hills Sanatorium in 1910. Initially, it was just a small 2-story building that could house about 40 to 50 patients. So, before the story of the Waverly Hills Sanatorium even began, like before it was a hospital, in 1883, Mayor Thomas H. Hayes, sorry, not mayor, Major, purchased I can't even read my own fucking writing. He purchased the land to establish a home for his family. Since the nearest school was too far away for his daughters, he decided to start a small school right there. He built a one-room schoolhouse and hired Lizzie Lee Harris as the teacher. Because she was a fan of Walter Scott's Waverly novels, Miss Harris named the school the Waverly School. The major liked the serene-sounding name, so he named his property Waverly Hill. During the early 1900s, the tuberculosis outbreak worsened. Louisville's wetland along the Ohio River provided an ideal breeding ground for TB bacteria. So to manage this, a small 2-story wooden sanatorium was erected in the area, which is where the house used to be. The facility included a main building for administration and 2 open-air pavilions, each accommodating 20 patients with early stages of the disease. On August 31st, 1912, all TB patients from the city hospital were relocated to Waverly Hills. They temporarily stayed in tents on the hospital grounds until a new building for advanced stage patients could be completed in December of 1912. Adding another 40 beds to the sanatorium. The expansion continued, and in 1914, a children's pavilion added another 50 beds. Can you imagine having a whole tuberculosis pavilion just for children? That's how bad the plague was.
Yeah, it's sad. And ghosties, like, I'm sure Chelsea, like, posted it on our Instagram, but, like, if you look up videos and pictures of this place, like,
it's huge.
It's huge, but so put that in perspective right now, right? As Chelsea's talking about this topic and the number of people that are in it, you see this place, you see how huge it is, and it's like that place was filled with people with tuberculosis. Like,
we're gonna get into how bad it was.
All right, let's get into it then.
Yeah.
Let's continue on.
So this area was not only for the sick children, but also for children of tuberculosis patients who needed care. So they really mixed healthy and unhealthy children together. The facility's planners intended to add a new building each year to accommodate the growing need, potentially expanding beyond the officially recorded 130 beds. As time progressed, Waverly Hills required substantial updates. So the wooden buildings were deteriorating and could no longer support the increasing number of patients, and in March of 1924, construction began on a massive 5-story structure that could accommodate more than 400 patients.
Wow.
A little over 2 years later, on October 17th, 1926, the sanatorium's new building officially opened. With medical advancements like the antibiotic streptomycin, we're gonna roll with it. Being introduced in 1943, the number of TB cases significantly decreased. By 1961, there was no longer a need for such a large hospital, leading to its closure and the transfer of remaining patients to the Hazelwood Sanatorium in Louisville. So can you imagine spending 2 years building this giant-ass hospital and then just being like, oh, we don't need it anymore?
It's crazy. Like, I know people, I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to think, like, well, hospitals are huge and there's sick people in there and there's a lot of people that can be in the hospitals. The difference is that at Waverly Hills, it was mainly based off of one disease, which is trippy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know. It's so crazy.
So the story of the building didn't end with its closure. The next year, in 1962, it was repurposed as Woodhaven Geriatric Center, which was a nursing home primarily for elderly patients with dementia and other severe conditions. Unfortunately, it struggled due to severe understaffing and overcrowding, earning a poor reputation for patient care, and was eventually shut down by the state of Kentucky in 1982. In 1983, developer J. Clifford Todd acquired the property with the intention of converting it into a minimum security prison, but the plan was abandoned after the community strongly opposed it. So he then considered transforming the building into apartments, but this fell through due to funding issues. I don't think I could stay in an apartment building that used to have sick people.
I mean,
I feel like there would be like way too much activity in it, like paranormal activity.
Here's the thing. Here's my little weird thing about me. If I had the money and I could buy a place like this, I would. I definitely would.
So
she said, "I don't care."
Yeah, that's a no for me. I'll go visit, but I ain't living there.
No, I'll make you stay the night, a couple nights or something.
Listen, I can do that. I just can't live there permanently. Like that's a no for me.
Okay.
So, in a surprising turn of events, In 1996, Robert Alberhasky bought the Waverly Hills and proposed a very ambitious project to construct the world's tallest statue of Jesus on the site that was inspired by Rio's Christ the Redeemer, if you know what I'm talking about, the really giant statue of Christ in Rio. So the plan was to start with a 150-foot tall statue and then convert the old sanatorium into a chapel and cultural center. However, the project was canceled in 1997 because there was no funding. I guess Kentucky really didn't want a 150-foot statue of Jesus in their state. Meanwhile,
who wouldn't want that?
So, adding to the sanatorium's eerie lore, the so-called body chute or tunnel of death was a passage originally built to discreetly transport supplies and deceased patients. It also served as a bomb shelter during World War II. This is where a lot of the ghost hauntings kind of start with. There supposedly is a lot of activity in the body chute.
Yeah, and that shit's crazy too. It looks crazy because it's like this long
ass tunnel.
It's like it's a tunnel, but like, okay, so there's stairs on one side, but next to it, it's just straight, right? So like, I guess like the bodies could just glide down, and it's creepy.
Yeah, and they used to like stack the bodies in there until they could get them all moved properly, and it's insane to think about. So in 2001, Tina and Charlie Mattingly took over the property, and they began hosting tours and a haunted house event each Halloween and used the proceeds to restore the building. They're currently refurbishing all the windows and revamping the interior to preserve its spooky allure. So I really love that they're still like fixing it up.
Yeah, because that place is falling apart.
Yeah, definitely. Because nobody's been taking care of it. Because nobody's got the funds, so they're making the funds one way or another. In 2007, they hosted the final show of the Sounds of the Underground Music Festival, which featured prominent heavy metal bands. But due to neighborhood complaints, similar events are unlikely to occur again. Which really sucks because I would definitely go.
Yeah, dude, imagine. That's dope.
And a lot of the bands that they had listed too, like I was fans, like I still am fans of them, so like I would have loved to have gone.
Well, you never know. Hopefully one day we can experience something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's other sanatoriums and like prisons and stuff like that do stuff like that, like the Ohio State Reformatory. They do the the blood haunt every year. So
you know what I would love?
What?
Oh my gosh. You know how Johnny Cash performed Folsom State Blues, I believe, at like a prison? So I think it would be such a dream to watch whatever band, maybe if it's an indie band or someone like a famous person covering it, performing that song in an abandoned haunted prison.
That'd be cool. I would go.
Because I'm not going to prison, so I'm not gonna okay, moving on.
So according to lore, the infamous 5th floor and room 502 are supposedly a hotspot for ghostly activity, which is where most of the attracting like thrill seekers and ghost hunters come for. Other stories tell of mysterious shapes moving in the windows, voices urging intruders to leave, and tragic tales of individuals leaping to their deaths from the roof. I don't think that part's true because I could not find anything on it. But so the most haunting story that revolves around the sanatorium is the one of the nurses from room 502. Legend claims that in 1928, a nurse hung herself from a light fixture after being distraught over an out-of-wedlock pregnancy. Another story from 1932 alleges that a nurse either jumped or was pushed from the roof patio. Some pregnant visitors have even reported feeling compelled to jump when near the windows, requiring intervention to prevent tragedy. Despite all of this, historical records suggest that the 5th floor was constructed similarly to other floors with glassed-in wards designed around the nurses' station to maximize sunlight exposure. These wards led to rooftop patios, but research shows no records of nurse suicides at Waverly, and room 502 lacks any structural features for someone to be able to hang themselves. So whether you believe, and I mean, if somebody really wanted to hang themselves, I'm sure they could find a way. But the fact that there's like no place in that room for them to do it, You know, just kind of like
that was a
makes
little
it.
dark.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Just like it hit me. I was like,
But the fact that there's no like place for them to do it in that room, like it just doesn't seem likely that that's true. Because even if it was true, it would not be that room. Yeah. So besides the 5th floor, Waverly Hills is said to be haunted by other specters, including Timmy, who's a young boy who roams the hospital corridors. He's often seen playing with a leather ball. Another spectral figure is an older woman with chains around her wrists, believed to stem from the building's days as a geriatric center, so a crazy woman. She's not crazy, but she's crazy. She reportedly cries out for help, but screams and runs when approached.
Ew.
There's also...
I don't like that. I don't like that image.
Like, please help me, but then when you do, it's like a cat. It's like, you know, cats do that all the time.
But
like
for a human to do that is so creepy. Like, you know how we do that thing where we imagine what the other person's saying? Like, I pictured it and I was like, yeah. Like, I gave myself a jump scare.
You're welcome. Another entity is known as the Creeper, and he moves in a disturbing crawling fashion across walls and ceilings.
Ugh.
Yeah. Which instills dread in those who encounter it.
No shit.
Right? This apparition is thought to be the spirit of a mistreated patient, and its contorted form reflects the trauma that it experienced in life. Listen, if I had to choose, I'll take the screaming woman over the creeper. Because when ghosts... When they start, like, contorting their bodies, like, in Silent Hill, and they just, like, start moving... No, thank you. No, thank you.
I don't mind it. I'd rather come across that than a screaming woman, because I feel like when it comes to sound and loud sounds, like screaming or children laughing, like that's creepy.
Yeah, but how do you know that when the creeper starts moving that you don't hear its bones cracking with it?
That's fine. I could deal with that. It's just
nope, I
It's
can't.
like ASMR, man. Ghost edition.
No, ASMR puts my teeth on edge anyway, so that's a no for me. Despite these dark tales, Waverly Hills began with a mission to heal and bring light into the lives of its patients, contrasting what it's known for with its shadowy stories that now pervade its history. So that is the Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Well done, sis.
I love how I write this like as a story, but then we just keep going and talking, and then it's like half the time my shit don't make sense no more.
Sorry, I'm a huge fan of this place, and
no, I do too. Yeah, I love this place.
I'm sorry I kept interrupting, but it's just like...
Oh, no, you're fine.
I don't know, it's a crazy place.
Yeah, and it's on my bucket list to go visit because Kentucky's not that far of a drive. I've been to Kentucky, I think, like 3 times now, so...
It's not close to me, but I'm willing to take a road trip there to experience that.
Right, that'd be exciting. So, moving on from creepy, screaming women and... contortionist ghosts. The tarot card of the week that I pulled was the Empress. And the Empress represents abundance, fertility, beauty, and she really helps you to connect to the feminine energy that she brings, which is usually creativity, sensuality, and nurturing. The Empress is loving and caring and compassionate and is really the archetypical mother figure. So by drawing this card, it's really like us reaching higher levels of consciousness in order to connect with that higher being who is like a mother figure. And I don't know about you, but I pulled this card before you told me your story earlier, and I feel like this one is for you. I feel like it's for you. So,
well, okay. I pulled... No, because I thought about it too when you were saying it.
I know. That's why when you told me, I was like, oh, really?
So the card I pulled was the Knight of Pentacles. So slow and steady wins the race. A believer in tried and true methods, the Knight of Pentacles plods onward with patience and reliability. Routines make progress, and you make strides little by little, day by day. You are trustworthy in your approach and like to follow it step by step. Practically rules your decision making as you prefer. to play it safe. Your duties lie toward responsibility and commitment, fully dedicating yourself to managing the minute details to get the plows running. So I think what this card is trying to say, obviously you want to take one step at a time, but you definitely, it's hard because it's not for everyone, okay? But a routine is going to help most people achieve a goal, right? Some people could just say fuck it and achieve the goal without a routine, but you know, slow and steady, take your time, know your next move before you make it.
I feel like you should be taking your own advice.
I think you should be taking your own advice. Anyways, have you heard about the tarot card movie thingy?
Yeah, I literally told you about it and you said that it sounded stupid.
I said it sounded stupid? I need proof.
Fuck yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I will go look for the fucking audio. I don't care. I'll find it.
Lying.
Did you watch it? Was it actually good?
I don't think it comes out till May. So, but yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Now it looks good to you?
Now, you know what? End this shit.
It sucks when you're not the one that's ending it, huh?
Dude, for real. I can't wait for next episode and have control.
I don't know if either of us are gonna have control with Stephanie on. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us this week, Ghosties. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode as much as we did. If so, please make sure to give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We are your hosts. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Veronica.
Have a spooky weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye!